People think ChatGPT is just some kind of artificial brain. But watch this.
To me, the magic is that under the hood, it's still just next token prediction.
That's Greg Brockman, the president of OpenAI and one of its founders. He's somewhat astounded. Did you catch what he said? Here he is again.
So the thing that's amazing in my mind is that what's going on here is we're talking to a neural network. And this neural network was trained to predict what comes next.
You heard him right. He's just as amazed as the rest of us. Generative AI is just autocomplete, like the autocomplete you see on a Google search bar, but scaled to what feels like infinity. My company helps enterprise teams deploy AI, tens of millions of dollars, helping several hundred brands. And today, we're using our real know-how on how this technology works to show you how autocomplete has become this magical artificial brain, as well as how you can now pretty much autocomplete anything. The software that you and I have been using every day for the last few decades is like a vending machine. You give it specific input like money, and it gives you specific output like snacks. But generative AI and ChatGPT doesn't work like a vending machine. So how does it work?
You could build a machine like a human child and then teach it through feedback. This is exactly how we train ChatGPT.
Let's decode that. So instead of working like a vending machine, generative AI works like a human child. It's a special type of program called a neural network. It learns by seeing lots of examples. You show this kid a million ways to solve math problems. And based on seeing all these training examples, this kid then starts seeing patterns in how math problems are solved and starts guessing how to solve math problems by itself. That's how autocomplete works. But how do you go from autocompleting simple math problems to autocompleting elaborate essays and even AI agents that might soon be booking our flights and hotels when we go on trips?
We just show it the whole world, the whole internet, and say, predict what comes next in text you've never seen before.
We just show it the whole world, the whole internet, and say, predict what comes next in text you've never seen before. So to get it to write essays and book our flights and hotels, we just needed to show it the whole world of data related to writing essays and booking flights and hotels.
But we actually have to do a second step too, which is to teach the AI what to do with those skills. And for this, we provide feedback. We have the AI try out multiple things, give us multiple suggestions, and then a human rates them, says this one's better than that one. And this reinforces not just the specific thing that the AI said, but very importantly, the whole process that the AI used to produce that answer. And this allows it to generalize, it allows it to teach, to sort of infer your intent and apply it in scenarios that it hasn't seen before, that it hasn't received feedback.
To get it to write essays and book our flights and hotels, we ask it to do those things and then give it feedback when it does those things correctly and when it does not. So over time, it eventually learns how to do those things without that human feedback. It's called reinforcement learning from human feedback. Every time you use a chatbot, you're providing feedback as to whether you like the response it gave you. These feedback signals come from the sentiment of your follow-up questions. Is it good or is it bad? It could also come from things like whether you clicked on the links it gave you or whether you edited that first question to get it to answer in a different way. OpenAI and other makers of these chatbots are using these feedback signals to know for that original question you asked, did the AI give you the answer you wanted? If it did, it's trained or reinforced to more immediately answer all future questions like that from everybody in that way. If it's not answered in the way you like, the AI is trained or reinforced to try answering differently in future so it can, over time, hone in on an answer that everybody will like. This reinforcement learning from human feedback isn't limited to learning just from the feedback signals of all of the users. There's an entire army of people that OpenAI and other chatbot makers hire to do this reinforcement learning. So before it gets in your hands, it's already been trained by this army was given it positive and negative feedback. So the answers you get are already pretty good when you use it. When people talk about AI training on your data, it's not training literally on your data. It's actually training on these feedback signals. It's training on whether, for a type of question, is this the kind of answer that users want? In my book, Do More with Less, I explain this whole thing in way more detail. You can grab a Kindle copy for like less than the price of a coffee, and it goes into excruciating detail on how these mechanics work.